In this lesson, we'll take a look at the built-in onParametersChanged event that is available in blocks. We'll see the execution flow in detail and then cover the life cycle of this event in particular. Blocks have a built-in event named onParametersChanged. This event is only available in blocks, and the platform triggers it automatically whenever the parent changes the value of one of the block input parameters. This allows the block to react to changes coming from its parent. Note that inside the block itself, changing an input parameter value will not trigger this event. Let's see how this actually works. Here we have a screen with a few products on the left. This screen also has a local variable that holds the ID of the current selected product. Currently, no product is selected. On the right side of the screen, we also have a block to display the details of a specific product. The selected product ID local variable of the screen is passed to the block input parameter product ID. Since no product is selected on the list, no info is displayed. Clicking on a product will execute some logic inside the screen. This logic will change the ID of the current selected product. Remember that the local variable is the one feeding the block input parameter. Changing the value of the product ID input parameter triggers the onParametersChanged event. In this case, the handler is the flow shown at the right. This particular handler will refresh the data that is fetched from the database and update the widgets inside the block. So, what would happen if the user selects another product in the screen? The logic associated with the click will execute, and the local variable will once again update, which in turn will affect the input parameter of the block. Changing the value of the block's input parameter will trigger the onParametersChanged event again. The handler executes and the product info updates, in this case for the headset. And this is how the onParametersChanged event flow works in runtime. Now let's revisit the life cycle for the onParametersChanged event. In this example, we have a screen with a block. Upon changing one of the inputs of the block, for instance a date used in the chart, the ParametersChanged event is triggered. Inside the flow of the handler for the onParametersChanged event, a refresh data for the getExpenses aggregate is executed. Before we actually have the data, the render event of the block runs, followed by the render event of the screen. As the data of the aggregate is returned, it triggers the afterFetch event of the aggregate, which in turn causes the block to render and complete the life cycle.